And when you see Wildwood on Saturday, where he has 100,000 people show up, 100,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Springsteen can't pull half of that amount,
Don't steal our thunder. We're getting into
trying not to, but I'm excited about this.
Eric Trump, Donald Trump's second chronological but third favorite son out of 3, took a couple pages out of his dad's becocked playbook.
A smaller version, but it's even more becocked.
That is stuck together. Oh. Okay, that ripped. That page ripped. It was stuck together a little bit, so that one ripped when I was going through it.
First, by violating the court's electronics ban as he was seen tweeting from court, and second, by making an absolute ass out of himself on Fox News. But before we unpack all that, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it.
Bruce Springsteen can't pull half of that amount, right?
The rotten apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I see. It's bad enough you're out here lying about crowd sizes the same way your father lies about his own size.
He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it.
But oh, did you just throw shade at Bruce Springsteen after holding a rally in New Jersey? As a native New Jerseyan myself, I gotta say, get the f*** out of here. That man is a national treasure, and your daddy is a national disgrace. The only things Donald Trump was born to run are his mouth, his bowels, and from the law.
I didn't fart. And you can't prove that I farted because I've never farted ever, like no one ever didn't fart. I did everything right and they indicted me. If some of these wackos came along, these liberal singers said, actually vote for me. They all vote for me. They say, oh, Trump, I don't know. Like Bruce Springsteen. We have a much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen, right? Much bigger.
Give me a break. That guy might have been born in the USA, but he only serves anyone who'll give him a payday.
I like the Saudis. They're very nice. I make a lot of money with them. They buy all sorts of my stuff.
But lying about size and slandering one of New Jersey's finest, who, by the way, draws way bigger crowds, weren't the only loads of BS that the forgotten son slopped down and regurgitated.
Mark, 110 subpoenas in the last 7 years. Those are ones that I've received personally. 110 subpoenas in 7 years. I've never gotten so much as a traffic ticket. We're a good family. Never have done anything wrong.
Well, that bit of revisionist history might work on the MAGA morons running and watching Fox News, but the rest of us sane people would beg to differ. You were literally fined $4 million 3 months ago for your part in your family's massive fraud, and then you were banned from doing business in all of New York. But perhaps the most despicable act that I would call far worse than a traffic ticket was when you stole money from kids with cancer.
Now to that blockbuster new report raising serious questions about the Trump Organization and charity golf events that were meant to raise money for children with cancer.
Just when you thought that the Trump administration could not get any more like a cartoon villain, a new report has come out that actually confirms the fact that Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, has been taking money away from kids with cancer in order to pay it to his own businesses.
So basically they began taking in the donation money that they hadn't previously needed to pay for the course and keeping it. But what was interesting and far worse than just that is in the first year, it supposedly cost $50,000 for this one-day tournament, which seems like a lot of money to me, but I don't run a charity, fine. Maybe it costs $50,000. The cost begins to balloon, going more than doubling, more than tripling within a couple of years. And now the money is being held by the Trump Organization, which means they're not just profiting off of this, they're ratcheting up the cost so that they can profit as much as possible before the remaining money, I should say, actually goes to the charities.
And that in and of itself is the essence of the Trump playbook. A good old reverse Robin Hood, where the money gets funneled from the bottom to the top. These grifting douchebags really said, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free, so we can siphon their money to golf courses under the guise of charity. And it's that kind of despicable behavior that makes their constant victimization of themselves that much more intolerable and disgusting.
Laura, you can't make up this sham. They will stop at nothing to take the man down. It doesn't matter that people are getting shot in the face every single day. Crime has doubled in this city, and yet they're going back to a $130,000 payment. He booked on his personal ledger as a legal expense because it was paid to his longtime attorney. And he gets 34 felonies. Remember, Al Capone got 1 felony. My father gets 34.
You gotta be a little suspect of a family that seems so intent on comparing their Don with Al Capone.
Remember this, I've been indicted more than Alphonse Capone, Mr. President. Do you know who that is? Even the president just said, I do Scarface, Al Capone.
Yeah, you've been indicted more than Capone because unlike your incompetent ass, he was actually good at being a criminal.
They want to take my father down in New York. They want to do it civilly. They want to do it criminally. They want to do it in Georgia. They want to try and do it in Washington, D.C. They go to the farthest left areas of this country.
Oh, right, I forgot how left-wing Georgia is. And what does that even have to do with anything? The only reason these indictments are happening in the states they are is because that's where your dad committed the crimes, you dunce.
I'd say those aren't crimes anyway, even if he did say okay.
Of course they're not. NDAs are completely
illegal. I mean, that's the point. I would say
NDAs are done
anyway.
every single day by every single organization. By the way, every organization, including this one, would go down in flames if an NDA was illegal, because every single organization, every single person has NDAs in that world.
And of course, Laura and Eric missed the point entirely, or more likely intentionally mislabeled it here, because it's not about NDAs being illegal. It's about Trump falsifying business records to intentionally and illegally conceal information from voters that could have hurt his 2016 presidential chances. A crime that bumps those 34 charges from a misdemeanor to a felony. Maybe if Eric wasn't tweeting so much in court, he'd understand that. But let's be honest, he probably does. He just knows that the only way to fix his father's lies is to double down and continue to gaslight gullible Trump supporters.
And your father is an unbelievable judge of so many people and situations.
Oh, right. Trump is an unbelievable judge of people and situations. That's why he almost picked a puppy murderer as his vice president.
But yet that this is their star witness. Their star witness is a convicted felon, a guy who lost his law license, and a porn star. That's literally who Alvin Bragg wants to stack against the 45th and 47th, because he will be the 47th.
God, hearing him disparage Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels as if his dad isn't a fraudulent, sex-offending, soon-to-be felon is so utterly moronic, it makes Trump supporters look like geniuses.
Not working. And by the way, he actually testified today that his whole intent of being personal attorney to the United States was to try and monetize it for self-serving purposes.
Oh, really? Cohen wanted to monetize his potential position of power for personal purposes. Who the hell does that sound like?
All kinds of toys from Trump. They pay me millions and hundreds of millions. And I get along great with all of them. They buy apartments from me. They spend 40 million, 50 million. We are with Saudi Arabia. We're staying with Saudi Arabia. We've become very good friends.
So nice try doing daddy's bidding, Eric, but just like it won't win you any more of your dad's love that you're so desperate for and lacking, your embarrassing BS lies also won't win you any support or sympathy from Americans who see through your family's facade. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe and let me know all your thoughts about Eric, his family, and their mountain of lies in those comments down below. We'd also greatly appreciate your support on Patreon so we can continue expanding our coverage, bring you more great shows, and keep you informed on everything you need to know in this very important year. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hess, and I'll see you all in the next one.